It is gray, it is cloudy, it is windy, and let's just be honest, it's cold. The wind chill, or as they call it, the real feel, is supposed to be in the mid to, at best, upper 30s here this afternoon. But it's dry, so we're going to play some ball. Welcome to the GMC opener as the Ayersville Pilots welcome the Hicksville Aces. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on. DCTV Sports welcomes you aboard. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Scoop, we've got an interesting contrast here. We've got the Ayersville Pilots, who had a tremendous season last year, at 2-4 right now. By all admissions, they should be 3-3 right now. Of the Eastwood game, basically Eastwood stole one from them in the bottom of the ninth last week against the Hicksville Aces. The Aces were a sub-500 team last year, but they are off to a tremendous start at 4-1, and we are going to see two of the best pitchers the conference has to offer here this afternoon.
Yeah, what a great way to start the GMC campaign this season with two outstanding pitchers in the circle here this afternoon. And a little contrast, as you mentioned, Ayersville last year finished just one game back at Tenora for GMC supremacy. Meanwhile, Hicksville was at the bottom of the standings, but yet you look at the early season right now, you mentioned Hicksville 4-1, looking for their first winning season since the 2018 campaign. Meanwhile, Ayersville coming off impressive back-to-back district appearances, trying to find a way to get there again. But first things first, GMC opener,
Absolutely.
Big game for both teams here this afternoon.
All right, let's go ahead and start in the circle. And one of the best, not just in the conference, but in the area for the Pilots, Kendra Waldron. Now, again, don't let the early season numbers fool you. And talking with Coach Adams for Hicksville, Coach Zartman for Ayersville, it's not uncommon. As a matter of fact, it's more common than it isn't to see the numbers just a little bit beefier, fatter, if you will, through the first couple weeks of the season. Because as you can hear over our mics, we get garbage weather. The game was not designed to be played in this kind of weather. It's also not uncommon in about 4 weeks to see things settle down, and that's when you see the best ball, and in particular, the pitchers see those ERA numbers start to drop. So again, we'll go through both these pitchers here this afternoon. Know that's probably, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 2 runs probably wins you the game tonight.
Well, I think so, and I think you're going to see both teams early on not play for the big inning, but just try to play to get a run. I think anytime you can scratch out a run, try to manufacture a run, I think both teams will do that. So we may see a little small ball today, some aggressive base running, trying to find a way to maybe strike first here, what could be, again, a big advantage for which team can really get going here offensively.
Well, right now you see the Pilots warming up. You see Kendra Waldron, the standout junior pitcher, taking some what they call PFP at the college level, pitchers fielding practice. We'll break her down. We will also break down, though, I think more than just a pleasant surprise. They were expecting great things out of Kennedy Adams for Hicksville, and she is not disappointed through the first 5 games.
Well, she's such a great competitor. It doesn't matter what sport it is, but she's very gifted athletically, and she got a lot of experience in the circle last season. Adams had 96 in the third innings pitched last year, so that experience is going to pay off. Record-wise, 5-11, but again, that's a team that hasn't had a winning record since 2018, but certainly with the leadership they have this year and certainly with Adams in the circle, they're going to be in every game.
I had a chance to stop out at Ayersville practice last night, sit down and talk with Coach Zartman. We'll hear from him, but up next is going to be our player profile. Actually, I believe we're going to go with Coach Zartman first. Excuse me. We'll go with Coach Zartman first. Our player profile completes the other half of the battery, Ariel Brown. Now, she's normally the catcher, but I believe this afternoon she's going to be playing shortstop with the graduation of Taylor Waldron and Laura. Basically their shortstop and their third baseman last year. He's had to kind of spin the roulette wheel, so to speak, and try and put his best athletes on that side of the field. So instead of behind the plate, it looks like we're going to see Ariel Brown at shortstop here this afternoon, but she is our player profile. So don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a quick time out. Back with more of the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
The musical ambassadors of the Army, the United States Army Field Band and Soldiers Chorus from Washington, D.C. will be presenting a free concert in Defiance on Saturday, April 12th at 7 p.m. at Defiance High School Gymnasium. For more information about this performance, visit armyfieldband.com/tickets. That's armyfieldband.com/tickets.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues as we are getting set for softball. It doesn't matter that it's probably going to be in the mid to upper 40s. It doesn't matter that we're probably going to have 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. It doesn't matter that we'll probably have light rain, because whenever you can get a game in north of the Mason-Dixon line, you play. None of these softies like you're going down south or out west where everything's got to be perfect. No, they grow them of hardier stock in Northwest Ohio, don't they?
That's right.
Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. A big thank you also going out to our sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in downtown Defiance. What if we got you a ride? What if we made you a pitch man for Estill Chevrolet Cadillac?
Yeah.
Are you driving a Corvette off the lot?
I'll take a Corvette off the lot.
Are you driving an Escalade, making it a really nice big ride?
I have a truck, but I'm getting to that point, that middle-aged thing. I'll take a Corvette any day.
Something a little bit more. Obviously, fashion over function sometimes, right? Coach Zartman joining us right now. He's hoping his team is functional again as they open up GMC play. Looking at a 2-4 record right now. Yep. You bit off a pretty meaty early part of the schedule. I know 2-4, sometimes they say you are what your record says you are, and there are other times where you say, you know what, you're better than your record says you are. Where's this team, in your opinion, 6 games in?
I think we're right where we need to be, honestly. We have played a tough schedule up front. One Division I team, couple D5, I think, and D4 teams. So I think we've battled with everybody. The losses we have had have been close. State runner-up with Bryan. Took them to 2 runs and lost to Eastwood by 1. Northview, we played their Division I team. They say a lot of Kendra Waldron pitching all the time up there. So it's great to go play a Division I team like that, because we know they're going to put the ball in play, and then that puts it on our defense, who might not get a lot of work in our Division 7, Division 6 area.
So let's break it down, because the weather obviously can have a factor. The game isn't meant to be played in the conditions that you know you're going to get to start every season. And every pitcher in particular will tell me, don't judge me on the first month. Judge me on the last month to 6 weeks of the season. I know it's unfair to start with Kendra Waldron, but let's start with Kendra Waldron. What have you seen from her so far?
She's doing well. She stepped up to the plate this year, saying, I basically told her she's our one. We're going to ride and die her this year. So she's our go-to. She's been doing well, throwing through all kinds of weather, cold, warm. When she's on, she's great. When she misses, she knows. So we've seen a lot of growth out of her this year, as far as taking the game head-on, pitch by pitch, instead of putting everything on her shoulders and expecting to be all her.
So. Well, and she doesn't have to strike out every batter.
No.
You can pitch to contact and be very effective. Let's talk about the other half of the battery, though. You got another junior. They were a tandem last year as sophomores, but what's Ariel Brown bring to the table this year?
Ariel brings a lot of offense and defense to the table. She's all-around great softball player. She's got a mentality that I haven't seen much out of kids. As far as that wanting to win and that drive to be better. So she's kind of going through a change here of catcher, shortstop. We got to find a shortstop, and when we put her out there, she calms everything out on the field, but she wants to be behind the plate catching Kendra as well. So so she's kind of going back and forth, but man, she brings a lot to the table offensively and defensively.
Well, let's talk about some of those holes to fill. Again, Bell in center field last year, obviously Taylor at shortstop, and I know that Laura didn't hit for average, but she was strong defensively. How you filling out, especially the left side of that infield this year?
So that's where I think our spot that we're looking to fill is shortstop for sure, between Allie Eldridge and Ariel Brown. Kendra can play there as well when she's not pitching, but how often is that going to happen? Left third base side is Ava Sigler. She was at second base last year, but we kind of got her there right now. Allie Eldridge can play there as well, but she's a better second baseman than third baseman. Center field, we got senior Rylan Beecher. She
Moves
played
over from right?
Yeah, from right to center. So, and then we got Michaela Shreve and Harmony Gherkin kind of filling in right field this year as well. So we've had to shuffle things around a little bit, but overall, we're doing well with it. So
Let's go ahead and break down Hicksville. Again, a team that struggled last year, but man, are they off to a sizzling start right now. Most likely going to throw Adams. That's the expectation. Break her down for us.
Yeah, I think she brings consistent speed with her. She does move the ball in and out a little bit. I know she threw us outside quite a bit last year. I'm sure she's developed another pitch this year. I think, as long as she's going to bring it to us like she did last year, if we're selective at the plate, we should be okay.
So, keys for a win today.
Play clean defensively. That's for sure. We've been having some errors, especially in Northview playing on the turf. That rattled the cage of our girls a little bit, but we played Montpelier clean. If we have a clean defensive game, we'll be all right.
All right. Looking forward to it, not just today, but all season long.
Sounds good.
Coach Zarman joining us on the pregame. Our thanks. We'll still find a ride for him from Estill Chevrolet Cadillac by the end of the year.
Red Corvette.
Red Corvette. I'm listening to Prince all of a sudden pop into the background here. We're back with our player profile. It is junior catcher Ariel Brown. Don't you go anywhere. You're back with more right after this on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV Sports. As it doesn't matter. It's windy, it's cloudy. We expect some precipitation, but they're of hardy stock in Northwest Ohio, which means as long as there's not a tornado going across the street, we're going to play some ball. Time for Ayersville softball on the air. Brent Balbinot saying thanks for joining us, as tonight they welcome Hicksville to, I was going to say, does the field have a name? It doesn't, does it?
I don't think so.
We need to give it a name. Do you guys even have a nickname for it as players?
No.
No?
We say it's usually pretty wet out there.
It's
but
pretty wet.
Bill does a good job keeping it dry.
Okay, so I got nothing coming to mind immediately off the top of my head, but before the end of the season, we'll crown it with a new nickname. How's that sound?
We'll do that.
All right, she's all smiles. She's been waiting for this. As a matter of fact, she told me before we hit the camera here, I didn't sleep a wink last night preparing for my player profile. Junior Ariel Brown joins us right now. We've done a few post games.
Yes.
Welcome to your first pregame.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about you, and let's rewind before we preview. Sound good?
Good.
Last year into this year, you are now a softball aficionado. It's the only sport for you.
Yes.
What were you working on in the offseason to make yourself a better softball player?
I did a lot of hitting, a lot of fielding, a lot of just mentally preparing, because softball is very, very mental. So, yeah.
467. Pretty good average last year. You're at about 316 through the first 6 games.
Yep.
Where would you have made your most improvement at the plate, in your opinion?
I would say seeing the ball come in from the pitcher is my biggest problem. So me and Bill have been working on seeing the ball, movement, all that stuff. So I've actually improved from last game, I feel.
So walk us through your approach at the plates. It's different for everybody, but where you see it out of the pitcher's hand, when you get your load set. I know when I played, we were always taught you can't be defensive at the plate. Instead of no, okay, yes, by that time the ball is past you in the pitcher's, or pardon me, the catcher's mitt. It's got to be yes, and then no if you choose not to. Walk us through your approach.
I walk up there, zero thought in your mind. You can't go up there with a thought. Looking at the knee of the pitcher, hip, pick up the release point, I go up there and I'm just thinking I'm hitting the ball. Be selective.
So are you looking for a particular pitch or a particular zone, or does it depend on the count and the situation?
Depends on the count in my situation. You got to take what the pitcher gives you, and being a good hitter, the pitcher's not going to give you a whole lot to hit. They don't want you to hit the ball, so being selective.
Okay, you're an upperclassman this year. The bulk of the team is back, but you did lose 3 key seniors last year. What did Coach Sartman tell you he wanted your role to be now that you're an upperclassman?
Biggest thing this year, step up. As he said, you got to be the alpha out there. So I feel like at Northview we recently played. This year I definitely stepped up and be the alpha in that game, and I continue to do that for the rest of the season.
Look, as the catcher, you're kind of the quarterback. I know the shortstop, center fielder, depending amongst position teammates, but you see the entire field. Walk us through the responsibilities when you're behind the plate.
It's a huge responsibility. You got to pick up your teammates. If somebody's getting down, one person can bring the whole team down, so you got to pick them up in the dugout and be like, hey, let's go. So definitely picking up my teammates is the biggest thing for me.
How about when you're behind the plate in the field? What you see, directing traffic, making sure, depending on the hitter, are you positioned well? There's a lot of communication that needs to take place.
I talk every pitch, every in-between pitch. You got to talk, let your teammates know what's going on. I feel like that definitely helps me personally, knowing, hey, the next play is here, or how many outs, or even what the count is. You got to keep your mind in the game.
Let's talk a little bit about your counterpart in the circle. For the most part, it's expected to be Kendra Waldron this year. You guys made a pretty good duo last year as underclassmen. How comfortable are you? Talk about your chemistry with each other.
I'm very comfortable with Kendra. She's been my lifelong best friend since day one, started out together, so definitely goes deep in there.
Besties. Maybe we'll give them a podcast later. We can just talk about all the things they do outside of sports. What makes her so effective? What helps you make her so effective?
She's one heck of a player, very, very strong mentally and physically. I think people look up to her, especially the younger kid. You're walking through the school and they're like, hey, Kendra, and I feel like that's definitely something I look up to as well, even being the same age as her. So she's a very strong player, and I look to see potential in her in the future. There
were 3 key seniors that saw a lot of time last year that graduated. Belle McGuire in center field, obviously Taylor Waldron, the older sister of Kendra, at shortstop. You had a little ornery, feisty one at third base. Who is a player that maybe has surprised you, or maybe at this point, just 6 games into the season, maybe surprised everybody as ahead of the game? Who should Pilot softball fans keep an eye on this year?
I'm going to go with, that's a hard one. I'm going to go with the whole team, actually.
Oh, what a political answer.
I'm going to go that way.
Okay, we'll give it to you. How good can this team be?
This team has insane potential. And I feel like our record right now does not show that at all. I feel like we've played some really, really good teams. I give respect to those teams because they are very good. So our record does not show that at all, but we will be coming.
Let's talk about the term student athlete. You got to crack a book. You have to stay eligible to be able to stay in the uniform. What's the GPA for you?
3.9.
3.9.
Yeah.
Favorite subject for you?
Anatomy.
All right. Now, when she told me that, I raised an eyebrow. Why anatomy?
I just love the human body. It's an interesting thing to learn about. I'm going to have to go. Math is just not my thing. I do take some CCP English classes, and those are fun. It's just not my best subject, so I'm going to go with anatomy.
All right. You're just a junior.
Yes.
But at the same time, as you and I have talked off the microphone here, you'd like to continue to play at the college level. Anybody snipping? Any schools that you might be interested in or not?
I'm going to have to go with Bowling Green, top 1, Ball State, maybe Indiana, but I'm not sure. And then definitely Findlay has been out there.
So a range between D2 and D1, even a Big Ten team in there. I know we're not graduating you too early. You still got another year and a half to go here. So once she struts across the stage in the cap and gown, she'll probably have that decision made probably by that fall. Right now, here and now. What's this team have to do to walk off the field with its 3rd win tonight?
We got to make a statement tomorrow. Start off, open the season, the league with a statement. That's my biggest thing. We're making a statement.
You guys openly talk about your goals?
We actually have not set goals this year. We are just straight playing, but I feel like as a team, our main goal is win GMCs for now and play 1 game at a time.
Straight playing.
Yep.
She's a player. We're going to have her and many more besides tonight versus Hicksville. Ariel Brown, good luck to you all season long.
Thank you.
That's our player profile. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're back with more of the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobayersville.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at Ayersville, you can probably hear the wind whipping over our headset mics right now as we are getting closer to first pitch. It is the GMC opener as the Ayersville Pilots welcoming the Hicksville Aces. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as we are getting set for what we hope will be an expedient tempo to this ball game. Right now, the temperatures are not expected to break 40 degrees. There is a wind right now out of the northeast at about 10 miles an hour. The rain is holding off. We do expect it. There's a 30% chance as the afternoon wears along here. So, Scoop, the wind chill, as I did a quick look on the internet, is going to be what they call real feel, about 35 degrees this afternoon. So it's going to be crucial for both pitchers to keep tempo here this afternoon, because the last thing your defense wants is to get stuck standing like a statue and end up being frozen. It just takes a lot out of you physically, but it takes a lot out of you mentally as well.
Well, that's so true. So I think it's going to be important for each pitcher to try to get a lot of first pitch strikes, get those kids up there swinging, because really not a hitter's day with the the cold you talked about, a little bit damp here, a little bit of a breeze and so forth. So really these conditions could favor the pitcher if they can locate here this afternoon.
Kendra Waldron taking the center circle, and the national anthem is being played actually for the baseball game on the other side of us here, which would be brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Defiance County Veterans Office serving veterans and their families, putting them in touch with services available to them. So the PA system for one field does the same for both, and we are ready to go here this afternoon. Kendra Waldron finishing her warm-ups right now as we are getting set. Hicksville will send, again, a team that's right now playing, I don't want to say above expectations right now, Scoop, but certainly after finishing sub 500 last season, they are off to a tremendous start. And in talking with Coach Adams about that, he said really they shouldn't have been surprised. He said that most of the starters this year as juniors and seniors were actually starters as freshmen, and he said they have finally figured it out. He said the game is slowing down for them. They understand the game a little bit better, and let's just call it what it is. Maturity fixes a lot of things.
Exactly right. Really no substitute for experience, so they're hoping that will really relate to wins. In the early season, it's done just that as the Aces are off to a fantastic 4-1 start here as we get ready for the first pitch of the GMC opener for the 2025 campaign.
Kendra Waldron in the circle getting set to deal. The leadoff hitter is McKenna Baird, and she takes for ball one. Second pitch is a strike at the knees, evens the count up at 1-1. McKenna Baird hitting an even 500 on the season, 16 at-bats. She has 8 hits. This one fouled away, right side and out of play. And Waldron ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's going to be so important for Waldron to stay on top. Hicksville this season in 5 games has already drawn 40 walks. Last year on the entire campaign, they had just 46. So they've been disciplined and patient. But right now, Waldron doing a great job of hitting her spots. Now has Baird in a hole, 1-2.
This one misses upstairs. Again, let's set the defense for Ayersville here this afternoon. As we've talked about it, Kendra Waldron, the junior all-conference pitcher, in the center circle. Normally she will deal to her fellow upperclassman, Ariel Brown, but Brown is going to be at shortstop here this afternoon as freshman Daniela Coble is wearing the gear here this afternoon. Brown at shortstop, Ava Sigler, a sophomore, at third, Allison Eldridge, junior, at second, and Aubrey Limber, a sophomore, at first, as ball 4 puts the Aces leadoff runner aboard. From left to right in the outfield, Michaela Sierra in left, senior Ryland Beecher in center, and senior Mickey Shreve in right. As Kennedy Adams, the counterpart to Kendra Waldron, digs in, squares to bunt, and fouls this one straight back, strike 1.
A good pitch by Waldron. You know, anytime you see a sac bunt, a rice ball is certainly the pitch you want to have to try to induce the pop-up. That time Kennedy a little bit underneath the softball. And Waldron on top, 0-1.
Waldron deals this one bunted, deadened towards third base. Nice play by Siegler, but nobody's covering, actually getting over at the last second. Brown does it, and that's going to end up being a double play. Score at 1-3-6.
No, you're going to score that 1-3-7.
Excuse me.
By Michaela
that was
Sierra
Sierra coming in
left
from left.
Field. You know, that time we saw Sigler and Waldron kind of stand in a circle after the throw to first, but a hustle play there by Sierra ends up turning into that unusual double play, but the Pilots will take it.
So just like that, 2 down and the base is emptied. Kendra Waldron will deal to Evie McAlexander. McAlexander hitting .333 in the 3-hole and checks her swing. That's going to be a strike.
But no surprise, we're seeing teams trying to play a little small ball, being aggressive on the bases, trying to find a way to manufacture runs. But credit to that Ayersville defense for a nifty double play.
This one misses outside, 2-1. This one, a little bit of a rise to it. I know Kendra and I had talked during the off-season. Her fastball, again when she's on, is a good 63 to 64 miles an hour. That is definitely Division I level material. The curveball, again, when it's on, breaks about a good foot. She said she'd been working on her rise ball. I think the pitch in her arsenal that